My name is Amber Botner, and along with my teammates, Trish Fox Collis, Blue Nealis, Deanna Burke, Luke Pascal, Ian Ross, and Clay Ash, are excited to introduce you our application, Birds of a Feather. Birds of a Feather was born from an experience that one of our family members had while in Target. He and his husband, along with their daughter, realized that they were struggling to find other queer families with children in their community. Birds of a Feather was built to connect LGBTQ plus families through events in their area. Signed-in users can create their own events, search for upcoming events, as well as RSVP to events that seem interesting to them. After logging in, a user is brought to their dashboard where they have a few options. They can view the events that they are attending. They can search for upcoming events within a defined mile radius of their home. We can view and we can click on upcoming events. If they don't prefer the map view, the user can toggle to the list view and see the same functionality but in a different view. So from the user's dashboard, they can view their profile, where they can see their username, image, and their default location, as well as a description of their family and tags that denote their gender identities and number of kids. Down in the events section, we can see events that they've created and actually delete them from this section. And they can also see events that they're attending. And here we can actually view the details of an event, and we can either cancel RSVP, we can get directions, which actually opens the MapQuest directions to that location, and we can also view the family profile.
Thank you, Amber. So users can create events via the event form. They can add a title, the date and time, and also the location of where the event takes place. Using predictive text, users can select a location and then see on the map on the right to make sure it's the right place. A description tells the other users what the experience will be. Their profile is updated live so we can see their new event here. Users can edit their profile. In the Edit Profile section, they can edit their description of their family, they can add tags, and you can also change your display username and the zip code you live in the Denver area. Here's some more information from Deanna.
We used a PostgreSQL database for our backend. We built our internal API with GraphQL, which was our stretch tech. All create, read, update, and delete, or CRUD functionality was built with GraphQL mutations, which exclusively use post requests. These mutations allow new users and events to be created and stored in our database. Once created, both users and events can be updated or deleted. Our internal API functionality is fully tested using RSpec, and we also utilized Postman to ensure our API was returning JSON exactly as our front end specified.
We made two external API calls. The first is to a MapQuest API, which we use to get the latitude and longitude of a specified location. The second is a zip code API, which we use to get all of the zip codes in a specified radius around a user's location. The tech stack we used for our server side is Ruby, Ruby on Rails, PostgreSQL, and we used Postman to build out our endpoints. We used RSpec for our testing and CircleCI for our continuous integration. We deployed to Heroku and used its built-in continuous deployment function.
For client side, we used React, React Router, React Context API, Sass SCSS, CircleCI for continuous integration and deployment, with Cypress as our test suite, and for our stretch tech, we used GraphQL with Apollo Client. We used Postman and utilized their mock server capabilities to allow the front end to build out in accordance to our API contract until the backend was fully functioning. The biggest benefit we saw with using GraphQL was the ability for the front end to target specific data from the backend API. This was especially useful as we have a limit of 10 hits per hour with our zip code API, and we were able to limit the requests by adjusting our queries. We also implemented React Context API to have global state management and stored our users' information in context so that as they're navigating the website, we did not have to continually refetch their data.
Our technical documentation process began with the Miro board, where all team members shared ideas and visions for the project. From there, we created our MVP and used a GitHub project board to create and assign backend and front-end specific user stories to each team member. This helped streamline our communication as we were able to check progress asynchronously as we each finished our tasks. The Miro board served as a living document reference and also contained our JSON contract. As changes and updates came up, we revised our Miro board accordingly and notified the team in our Slack channel. Both our front-end and back-end repos have thorough readmes documenting the user experience, local setup, example queries, and responses.
Thank you for your time, and we hope that this application will be useful for building future community between LGBTQ+ members and their families.